Okay, are you able to see my screen, right? I think so.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, well, here today I'm going to talk about self-management and the tools that I use for my tasks and to-do list and how to keep those organized. And I want to share that whenever I joined Avenue Code, I think I joined when one of those weeks were happening. I think it was the Agile week. And I joined and I was like, okay, Sunday I will do my talk on something that I understand better, something that I can share with everyone. So finally I'm here. So I'm really glad for the opportunity to be here and also to be sharing this. And a little bit more about myself. So I'm Carol. I'm from Campos do Jordão, a tourist city. So I was born and raised there. Everyone always say, oh, the people really are born in there? So yes, I was born in there. I went to Ribeirão Preto and I'm graduated in international relations. I love working at home and I, of course, miss people at the office and I enjoy every opportunity that I have to go to the office. But I'm a home office lover. And I do also have a pet. She was my challenge during the pandemic. I think the first challenge that I had was to have the small pet in my home. And now at Avenue Code, I work with the Canadian team. I'm an account manager there. And I'm also the coordinator for Extraordinary Women in Tech initiative that we have here at Avenue Code. It's an amazing initiative. If you don't know about it, please ping me. I'll share more details because everyone needs to know and spread the word about women in tech. So today, as I mentioned, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the theory first, and then I'm going to explain the tools that I use for manage my time, to manage also my tasks, my to-do list. And this part, this theoretical part, I was writing and I was checking everything about it. And it will sound like really common for us, all the concepts that we have about time management. But I want to use this part to really reflect on everything that we do and our to-do list. So if you already have a to-do list or if you have a task list, open it and reflect on it when we're going through this first part. So management, I think it's obviously we want to get our things done. And we need to get this done as much as we can, as fast as we can. But I think one big thing about it, we need to prioritize our activities. And we need to understand what kind of activities that we're working on to set those priorities through the day, through the week, or month, or quarter. And you need really understanding everything that you're working on. You will see how much effort you need to put on each of those tasks and also the results that you're going to receive and achieve with those. So first thing, I like to divide the activities or tasks on my to-do list onto kind of tasks. So one that I need to, it's one activity that if I add more effort to it, I'm going to be able to complete and get it done, risk on my to-do list. I love doing like the check box on my to-do list. And I like to do those tasks that I can put more effort on my high energy time of the day. So for me, I know I am a morning person, but the most high energy time of my day, it's at the end of my day now. I'm not sure why, but that's where I dedicate the most and put more effort on the activities that I can get done on the day. But we also have those activities that even if you put all your effort on that, you will not get complete because you're waiting for someone else to reply back to you, or you're waiting. It's something like a software testing that you cannot rush. You need to be patient and you need to just keep in mind that it doesn't only depend on you. And I think whenever we have those kind of tasks, it's always important to keep, even if you did your part, keep that on your to-do list still, because it's not fully completed. So you will know that you need to follow up with someone, that you need to get more things done about it. So I kind of like dividing my tasks on those two kind of tasks. So I would recommend you to analyze yours and also see what kind of tasks you're working on. And with that, of course, everyone wants to have the mix of productivity and also efficiency when we're working on our to-do list through the day. And just to give you some context, so I understand productivity equals to results, so the results that we want to achieve, and efficiency as the quality that we're putting on the work process. As mentioned, we want to achieve both whenever we're doing our tasks during the day. So here's a few tips for you to really analyze and see how you can really leverage your work and really put more effort, the right effort to the tasks that you're doing. So if you identify any low value tasks on your to-do list, you need to analyze those. So if you can quit or if you can delegate through your team, if you can redesign the process that you're doing to work on that task. And also this will really save your time on things that you can share with the teams, share, or even not be doing that because someone else is already doing, for example. And the other thing, if you're getting the same results in the same tasks, like similar tasks that you're doing, if you're getting repeatable results, I think you need to stop and analyze that as well, because you may be able to create a process and create a workflow that will save your time to achieve the same results at the end of the day. So it's also something for you to analyze and save your time through the whole day. But I think the last tip here about planning is my favorite one because I love planning. I'm not a planner though, but I love planning. I like really to make my planning ahead. Like I do my planning one day before I start my day. So my today's planning was made yesterday night because I think it's a time when you're focused on everything that you need to do and everything you need to deliver. And you really can think through what you're going to start your day with, how your day is going to go, how many meetings do I have, what I want to achieve with that. And even doing those planning, not only for the day, but if you can set goals per day, per week, per month, per quarter, you can utilize that really to guide yourself through your work day and your work month life. And I think the next topic, it's a huge one, and I really struggle a lot at the beginning with prioritization, and it's something that I'm continuous learning about it. But I get there's five tips for us to work and see if we can better do our prioritization on our to-do list. So the first thing I think related to prioritization, we really need to have like the self-discipline and self-control, especially working from home. So we're at home, there's a lot of things that can distract us, or if you're doing too much on your work, on your day, you need really to commit to things that you can get done. So I really encourage you to, if you're not able to get this done, don't commit to that. You can, well, tell your manager or team, hey, can someone else take over this? Can someone help me with that? But really commit to things that you can get done. Of course, you need to focus on the results. We already spoke a little bit about the quality and the results on the previous slides, but you need really to analyze those after getting results. Prioritizing tasks, I think that's, well, I'm going to talk more about on the next slides, but it's something that is really valuable, and you're going to see that saves your time a lot. And do constantly your work, but not, of course, your work and whatever you need to deliver, but finding the best way for you to do that. That might not be the best way for my colleague to do that, or maybe to someone else that lives a different reality as me. So here as an account manager or working with clients directly, I do have a different life than like a consultant or anyone else from any other department. So I know people can have similar process, similar things that they do, but every system and process will be different for each one of us. So for prioritization, well, if you got your to-do list and if you already have your to-do list there, amazing. I think that's the first step and the most valuable one. But if you do not have, create one and try it out. I know some people like to only work like with things in their head. They have the their to-do list on their head during the day, but whenever you're writing those down, you can really see all the things that you need to work on and things that you need to deliver. And whenever you're classifying those as low, medium, or high priority, you can make sure to prioritize those, of course. But not only that, if you add the due dates for those activities, and I'm going to show how I do it later, it's even better because you know exactly whenever you need to work on those activities. And going through your to-do list, if there's something urgent or really important, something that you need to take action immediately, something that really will impact your client, your organization, or a lot of people in your team, those are like the highest of the high priority list. So you need to somehow highlight those on your tasks, because those are the ones that you need to get done first. And I think during the day, through the whole time, you're going to see that new tasks are coming, or some are being crossed. So it's really important to see how much impact you're generating with that task, and really don't impact or don't be a blocker for anyone else on your team or on client or organization. And with that, as I mentioned before, you need really to balance the effort that you're putting on those tasks. So if you see that something that you don't need to put effort, or something that is not depending only on you, as mentioned before, you don't need to worry about it right now. It will be on your to-do list, but it's something that you already done your part. It's still there, but you don't need to put effort. Don't worry about this one. So focus your energy, and especially on your high energy time of the day, on the tasks that you can really add effort and get completed as fast as you can. And one thing that I learned a lot with Definitive Code, but it's something that I also bring with myself, it's about reviewing results and asking for feedback. So first, you need to see the process that you're doing, how you're prioritizing. You can test things out. Things will work out. Things will not work out. So even if it work out, I would recommend you to ask feedback for your team, because maybe it works perfectly for you, but it affected someone somehow that you had no idea. Sorry. So if you keep asking feedback, even on the positive things that you're generating, sorry, my throat is hurting today. I was not on a good day to do this talk. But even if you get a positive result, keep asking for feedback, and I think will be really valuable for you. But even with negative things, or how you can do differently, I think is a good way for you really to reflect and see all the results that you got from it. Sorry, team. And the last one, and I think the most famous one, is the balance forward, the procrastination. I think it's something that everyone deals with, and we cannot lie. Like, if we're gonna push some of our tasks for the future, there's no way for us to avoid this, but try to push this task for tomorrow, for example. And if that's not possible, set exactly a day and a time that you're gonna work on those tasks. Because this way, like if you're just saying, no, I'm gonna do this next week, it doesn't matter, it may impact someone in the team. So if you really set a time, organize yourself, do your planning correctly, you're gonna get those tasks. Even if you're procrastinating, you're gonna get this done as soon as you organize yourself. And my extra tip, as I mentioned before, create your tomorrow's list today. And you're gonna see how much impact this will have during your organization and during the tasks that you're working on during the day. And one big thing that I learned, like I'm someone that I love helping people. I'm always available. Like, yes, let me try to do that. Let's try to improve this together. Let's work on it together. But sometimes I also have my own work to do and my own things. So what I created, what I really believe now, it's okay for you not to be available. to get your own work done. So we do have some tools for that. Using our Google email or Google Chat, we can say that we're not available. I even added today, right now, that I'm doing the talk here on the Career Week, so people know that I'm not available because of that. Or even we do have this tool on our calendar that we can add focus time for whatever we're doing. So this will show on your Google Chat that you're on your focus time if you're doing something specific, and your manager is going to have visibility, your peer is going to have visibility. So it's a good way for you to show, hey, I'm here, but I'm busy on that. So people will get that you're unavailable because you're working. So, and that's not an issue at all. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the tools that I use. As I mentioned, it's my reality. I know there's like 100 more tools for us to use. And before I start, one thing that really encouraged me to do this talk as well and show my tools is because we're working far away from each other, even though we're really close here and like every time, but we're not able to just look at someone else's table and see, hey, they're doing this, I'll try this, because we're doing our own planning and our own organization individually. So we're not, I'm someone that I don't go really often to the office, just if there's something happen. But all my fellows and people that I help on the onboarding, I was talking today, hey, I did this, that works for me. That might not work for you, but that's something I tried. Maybe you can organize yourself this way. And I think it will give more confidence for people to work and better organize than themselves. So share your tools with your teams too. That's the first thing that I want to say about this. And my main tool and something that I used a lot is my planner or my physical agenda. Even though I write all my tasks on my email, and you're going to see it how, I use my planner and my physical agenda to write some notes or some insights that I get, and especially the goals. So whenever I'm setting the goals for the week or for the month, I love writing them down, using different colors, putting different things all over my agenda, and that makes a huge difference for me. But only for goals, because I like writing. So I kind of use that only for the big things that I'm working on. And I really love still to check those or to cross them with my pen. But what I use the most for meetings that I do with internal team or with clients, it's really the notes that we have here on the laptop. So we do have on Apple, we have the notes, this one that I added first, but any laptop, they do have their own notes. So you can add the notes in there. But one thing that I encourage you to do as well is dividing those notes. So divide per region, per category, per client, per, I don't know, per project. So whatever you're doing, if you have those notes that you're taking through the day of your meetings, divide them so you will know exactly where they are whenever you need to look for them. And also Google give us a great tool that I tried to use. It didn't work out well. Now I'm using Notes, but it is an amazing tool. And we have an extra point here. You can add your peers and colleagues to those lists or notes that you're creating. So it will appear on their Keep and on your Keep. And Keep is really a tool that it's located on whenever you're on your Google email or on the Google Chat, you're gonna see this this lamp from Keep, and you can click there and you go directly for there. You can also divide the notes. You can have everything shared with your colleagues, and I think that's super cool. But for some reason, it didn't work out well for me. Well, I don't know. Like next week, maybe I'll utilize again. But it's something that it worked for a while, but now I'm already over it. And my favorite one ever, and that makes a huge difference in my life on everything that I need to do on my, especially follow-ups or emails that I need to send, everything that I talk to people on the chats or even on emails. So I got one example here. So here we have one email that I received. And there's this button right here is really a check thing. It's the same one as the tasks. So whenever I need to follow up on an email, or it's something that I already replied back on the email, but it's something that I need to keep on my mind, I click here and I add this to my task list. And that's the task list that I use. My to-do list forever is right there. And here is keep, as you can see, but here is my task list. So every email that I add here will go to my task list. And one great thing, we can add the date that I need to follow up, for example, on that email, or that I need to reply back. And this task will be automatically linked to the email. So whenever you're completing that, you can go directly and click on the email. And if you add a date and a time, it will show in your calendar exactly the day that you need to follow up, or the time that you set to do these tasks. So that's why I mentioned it's something that made a lot of difference for me, because I was able really to combine everything that I had to do through the day with those tasks. I'm sorry, guys. And here on the chat as well, we have the same tool that we can add things to our tasks whenever someone say, oh, can you get this done, or can you work on that? Oh my gosh, sorry. You can add this to your task too, add a date, and it will link automatically to the message on your Google Chat. So you're able to really go and see what you were talking about to get that task done. Also adding a date and a time for you to get this done. And for example, if I do the follow-up, like I mentioned on this email, if I do this follow-up and I still need to do one more, I can go here and edit the date, for example. So it will still be linked to the same email, but I added a new date for it. And that's my life savior of my work nowadays. And now I would love to hear from you guys. If you have any tools that you use on your day-to-day activities, on really to share with us. And even if you're like shy to share it here, I really encourage you to share with your team, with the people that you work closely with. Again, it's something that works for you, might not work for someone that you're working with, but it's good to have and give this visibility to them, that you're using this, that might work, or he has something similar that he's working on and he can share with you too. So if anyone wants to share, I would love to hear about your tools too. But if not, share with your team for sure. Does anyone? Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, like I said on the chat, I'm very visual person, but I also have ADHD. So I can't deal with planners and things that will close and I cannot see it. So Google Keep is really good in terms of technology, but I more like analogical person as well. So I always keep a task list, like physical one, that every time I do write with my hand, I always seem to focus more and keep the information. And I also have a whiteboard that I made into a calendar. And so everything that I have to do that has due dates and deadlines, bills to pay, every single thing is there. And I color coded everything. So it works for me. And of course, one tip that I use for those that used to procrastinate, it works for me a lot. It's the Pomodoro technique.
Yeah.
So if you block your time, it will work great. It works for me. And of course, the part of discipline, it works. And Notion is amazing. It's a life organization. And we could talk about Notion for days here. So that's it. I'm a highly visual person, so I have to keep everything right in front of me.
Yes, and that's one thing, like, because I write my goals in hand, like on my notebook, I'm able to see it every time. I don't close the tab, so I'm here, okay, I need to work on that, and it keeps reminding me. And I do also love post-its. I have like a bunch here, so I put it like in front of me, the main things that I need to do, even though I add on my task list, even though I add like remotely, if I add and write those down, I think that's the best way for me to remind and absorb them and keep them on my face, really, to check it out whenever I need to. Yes, thanks for sharing, Amanda. Does anyone else wants to share? Feel free to share your tools.
I would like to share a reflection that every now and then when I talk about productivity, I think can help people who are building up. The tools, they are a great shortcut. So if you know the integrations, they will help you. But one thing that I think sometimes gets in the way of us being more productivity is the kind of expectations that we set. Because, good productivity looks beautiful. Like we see that notebook, we see everything, and we compare ourselves to people who are good planners and get things done. So sometimes when we try to work in our productivity, sometimes we have to set a very much high bar for ourselves. So you want to become the one that's a procrastinator or that finds it hard to get things done, to someone who, I'm clean, sharp, and I control everything. This is the kind of thing that becomes an obstacle. What I would like to provoke here, which I think completely goes in line with what you're bringing, Carol, is that we should try to start small. So what's your next little step that you want to build? And this tree has to get roots before you build a forest. So what's the little habit that you want to change, and focus on that? Watch out for not just switching tools. Oh, this didn't work for me, let me try this other one, because then you won't have made a real trial with any of the tools. So watch out for comparisons, I would say. Stick to one little thing that you can build up on, and then you can grow from there. What do you think, Carol?
Yes.
Does
No, I
that make
agree.
sense?
And I think that's one of the main reasons why I do like my goals per day, per week, per month, per quarter, because I know kind of the small steps. And as Michelle mentioned, like celebrating those small victories, I think it's such important for us to really be motivated with our work. So it's really something for us to focus on. And well, it's super aligned what you said, Arthur. Thanks for adding to the talk as well.
My pleasure. We have time for one little comment. Oh, I think we don't. We just shifted to 30 here. So, Carol, I would like to thank you so much for the presentation today. It was amazing, very nice, hands-on suggestions. I hope you all enjoyed very much. Please remember to answer to our feedback and register your presence. I sent the link a few messages ago. And any things you would like to bring for the closure, and Carol?
Well, I think just feedback. Well, feel free to send me your feedback. I love those, negative or positive. I hope I could really affect you somehow with my talk. And I'm available anytime if you want to just chat about anything.